I wanted to make another guide for the absolute beginner of Dungeons & Dragons, this time focusing on abilities and skills. Maybe you've never played D&D before, or you played previous editions of it, and you want to enjoy this new record-breaking game that is Baldur's Gate 3. A little disclaimer, I don't pretend to be a professional at anything, I'm just a guy who spent a good amount of time playing the pen and paper, and can help explain some systems that Larian put into the game. Those systems might seem very complex for the first timer, but I assure you that the 5th edition is way easier than the previous editions. You just need some time to invest in understanding these systems, and it will make your game journey way easier. As you can imagine from my other guide on weapon properties, my background in data analysis and computer science is going to resurface, and I'm going to organize all the information in spreadsheets. You can find them in the description below. Also, it's worth noting where this information comes from. Some of it comes from the interwebs, some from my personal knowledge just from playing D&D, and a big part of this presentation comes from the system's reference document for publishing content under the Open Gaming License. What's that, you might ask? It's the Creative Commons version of the 5th edition D&D rule set. Basically there are two versions of it, and the copyrighted ones, the one from the manuals, and the free one for third-party creators. So why not give us the version from the manuals? Easy answer, you can't incorporate Wizard of the Coast stuff in your content without their written permission, and, as far as I know, we don't have fair use laws in Europe. But don't worry, these rules are perfect for understanding the game. Let's start with the Proficiency Bonus. What's that? In short, characters have a Proficiency Bonus determined by the level. The bonus is used in the rules on ability checks, saving throws, and attack rolls. This is the progression of the Proficiency Bonus. The higher your level, the better your character is, as expected. Simply put, you apply this bonus to all things in which you are proficient. I'm not going into classes, backgrounds, and races in this video to keep it contained, but for now you just need to know that those will give you proficiencies in some skills. For the background and races, they are fixed. For example, the soldier is proficient in athletics and intimidation, or the wood half-elf is proficient in stealth. For classes, they will give you a bunch of skills to choose from, all related to the archetype you're choosing. What are those abilities? Those are the 6 main stats your character can have, and influence your skills, combat, and spellcasting. They are Strength, Dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence, Wisdom, and Charisma. They have a score associated with them. It technically can go from 1 to 30, but adventurers in this game start from 8 and can reach a maximum of 20. Every score has a modifier, given by how high that number is. 10 is the average, meaning no actual modifier. Let's see them in detail, we'll cover the skills in a minute. This is our abilities and skills spreadsheet. But let's worry about abilities only now. The first ability is Strength. It measures your bodily power, athletic training, and raw physical force. And it's going to influence your attack rolls and damage with melee weapons, your strength saving throw, your carrying capacity, and your ability to push, lift, or move heavy objects. Then we have Dexterity, which is your agility, reflexes, and balance. And it's going to influence your attack rolls and damage with range or finesse weapons. See the similarity here with strength. Your dexterity saving throw, which is very common. Your armor class, depending on your armor though, as heavier the armor is, the lower is the bonus, your dexterity bonus you can transfer to your armor class. Your initiative, which is the combat order. The more agile you are, the more likely is you're going first. And your hiding. Then we have Constitution, which is your health, stamina, and vital force. And it's going to influence your hit points, as your Constitution bonus is added to every hit die you have at every level. Constitution saving throw, also very common, and concentration checks for casters. When you're casting a spell that is lasting for long and it it is a concentration spell. If you are being hit in combat, you have to do a concentration check. And this bonus helps. Then we have intelligence, which is your mental acuity, accuracy of recall, ability to reason. And it's very important as a spellcasting ability for wizards, because it's going to increase your difficulty class when you're casting a spell against an enemy. And it also influences your intelligence saving throw. Then we have wisdom, which reflects how tuned you are to the world around you and represents your perception and intuition. It's very important for clerics, druids, and rangers because it's their spellcasting ability. And it's going to influence your wisdom saving throw, which is another very common saving throw. Then, last but not least, we have charisma, which is your ability to interact with others, your confidence, eloquence, charming or commanding personality. It's going to be the spellcasting ability for bards, paladins, sorcerers, and warlocks. And it influences your charisma saving throw. Now remember, when creating your character, some classes benefit from having some attributes higher than others. I won't go into class details now, it's not the scope of this guide, but this is a table giving you the gist of it. What are those skills? Each ability covers a broad range of capabilities, including skills that a character or a monster can be proficient in. A skill represents a specific aspect of an ability score. An individual's proficiency in a skill demonstrates a focus on that aspect. So back to the spreadsheet. For strength, we only have one skill, athletics. Athletics is requested when you are climbing, jumping, or swimming in a difficult situation. Then we have dexterity, and the skills involved are acrobatics, which is a check that covers your attempt to stay on your feet in a tricky situation. So dives, rolls, flips, acrobatic stunts, stuff like that. Then we have sleight of hand, whenever you attempt an act of manual trickery, also used for pickpocketing, picking locks, and stuff like that. In the game, you're going to use a lot of this one. And stealth, which is when you attempt to conceal yourself, when you're trying to hide, or when you're trying to move silently and sneak up on somebody. Then we have constitution, without any skills. By game design, it's been decided that constitution is already a very powerful ability, and it doesn't have any skills. Intelligence. Intelligence has quite a bit of skills related to it. So let's start with these. I call them lore skills because in the 3rd edition they were called lore, and they've been grouped because there were many more. Arcana is the capability of recognize something related to magic or creatures coming from other planes. History is the ability to recall something you studied in books related to historical events, kingdoms, wars, civilizations. Nature is a lot of tree-hugging stuff, but also animals, weather, natural cycles. Religion is your ability to recall lore about deities, rites, prayers, symbols, practices. Pretty clear. And the last one, a different one, investigation, is looking around for clues and try to understand what those clues means. Wisdom, it also has quite a few skills related to it. The first one is animal handling, which is used when you have something to do with an animal. Calm down a domesticated animal, keep a mount from getting spooked, or understanding an animal intention. Then we have insight, very useful in the game, in my opinion, which helps you to understand when someone is lying to you, or when there is something off. Then we have medicine, to stabilize or stabilize someone who is dying or understand or diagnose an illness. Then perception, very useful, also in my opinion, for spot, hearing, detect the presence of something. Then, last but not least, we have survival, which is also nature related. It's used to follow tracks, hunt game, or predict the weather, or avoid natural hazards. Then charisma. Charisma has related to it what I call the speech skills, which are deception, intimidation, and persuasion. Deception is to convince someone of something hiding the truth, lying, basically. And not only verbally, but also through your actions. Intimidation, as you can imagine, is when you try to bully someone or threatening physical violence to obtain something. Persuasion is diplomacy, to be short. Tact, social graces, good nature, good faith, foster friendship, stuff like that. And then we have performance, which is related mostly to bards. It determines how well you can delight an audience with music, dance, acting, storytelling, or something else. This is used a lot in the game. Finally, saving throws. A saving throw represents an attempt to resist a spell, a trap, a poison, a disease, or a similar threat. To make a saving throw, you roll a d20 and add the appropriate ability modifier. Each class gives proficiency in at least 2 saving throws. So your saving throw in a specific ability is the bonus from that ability, plus the proficiency bonus given by your level, in the save your class is proficient with. To give a couple of examples, you can avoid the brunt of a fireball damage, succeeding in a dexterity saving throw, or resist a poison with a successful constitution saving throw. If you made this far, thank you for watching. I hope this guide will help you in a better understanding of the game. It's not necessary to fully understand every single little detail to enjoy the game, but I think that knowing these basic rules will help you and will get you far. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and have fun with Baldur's Gate 3.